Hey everyone, if sleep is fitful for you, you're not alone. I'm Lacey, and today I'm going to compare the best cooling mattresses for hot sleepers. Now, I am a hot sleeper. I always wake up in the middle of the night just drenched or just exhausted from desperately wanting to sleep but being so uncomfortable. Now, that led me down a lot of different paths, right? I installed new AC units, I got new sheets, I tried new diets, I tried taking baths before I went to bed, and I realized these were all basically band-aids on a much bigger problem that kind of needed stitches, if we're going to keep going with this analogy. So I went into what actually made a mattress cool. I looked at the top things that maybe I was missing when it came to how effective my mattress legitimately was. Now, airflow. That's going to be one of the most important things. Airflow helps maximize circulation, right? Airflow in your mattress keeps that heat that builds up on top from staying where it is. Now, that all comes down to the structure, the design and the materials of your mattress. So an open coil network is best for this, right? I always thought memory foam is the best thing ever because that's what all my family used. Well, they all have like joint problems and they're older. Memory foam just traps heat and it's not what I needed. I was told that there were cooling gels, that if I had a mattress with a cooling gel, that would work really well. Well, chemical cooling gels I found just feel cool to the touch. So sure, I get in the mattress and I put my hands on it. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Literally, not figuratively. But within 20 minutes, boom, I'm up again because I'm too hot, because it didn't do anything to pull the heat away from me. Now, phase change materials is where I learned the most. PCMs. You're going to see a lot of PCM information, not so much with active systems like 8 Sleep, but with a lot of other alternatives. You're going to see PCM. Now, PCM just means phase change material, and it's the type of material that's built into different mattresses, and it works like tiny little thermal batteries, right? It pulls that initial heat spike away from your skin. It helps you fall asleep faster instead of keeping it trapped against your body like a little heat bubble. And then, of course, you also have to consider how heavy you are. Heavier sleepers, whether it's fat or muscle, or you want to pretend that it's muscle, those are going to cause issues because traditional mattresses will cause you to sink. And the deeper you sink into the mattress without the right support, the more profound that sort of heat bubble becomes. And we don't want that. Nobody wants that. So I have ranked my top 4 options here when it comes to hot sleeper alternatives. Best one, 8 Sleep. This is the luxury one as well. I don't want anyone to be confused. It's going to be the most expensive, biggest investment you're going to make, but that investment means you get a physical thermostat that is active. This is the only one on the market I've ever seen that is active. It is going to help change your temperature all throughout the night as you sleep, and you don't have to do anything. In fact, it's completely automated. So if we pull this system up here, you're going to see that you get an immersive sleep system, right? It has built-in autopilot AI. It tracks you as you sleep. It tracks which sleep cycle you are in: light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. It tracks your body temperature while you're going through those cycles. And if you are a power lifter, for example, as soon as your body starts flushing those toxins, as soon as your temperature rises, recovery hinges on you being able to sleep comfortably. So you need an active system that checks those temperature changes and immediately does something about it. Now, I did say the catch here, it is a luxury system. It's going to give you all the bells and whistles you could possibly want when it comes to active temperature regulation, and it's going to cost you. So not only is this a substantial investment, but those automated biometric features from the autopilot AI, they come at a subscription cost. And unfortunately, it's one that you're going to pay for the rest of your life if you want to keep using it. Now, if you don't, we can pop over here. We have this Brooklyn Bedding Aurora Luxe cooling design with a cooling comfort and zoned support. This is a top tier option. It uses advanced non-electric phase change materials. I told you PCMs were going to be important. And it is going to provide the best passive cooling system I have found in a hybrid mattress. So you'll see here this thermophase foam right here. In addition to all these other things, pressure point relief, custom support, motion isolation, 3-zoned lumbar support, it's the phase change materials that I want to look at. So underneath this PCM layer, you're going to see right here, cloud pillow top with thermophase cooling foam. That is the PCM. Under that, you get the wicking quilt, then you get the copper responsive foam. So that copper works in tandem with this memory foam, transition foam, and very important, zoned coils. Those coils, unlike a traditional memory foam mattress, give you a lot of air. You can actually see how these pockets are designed if you look very closely. And that function right there conducts heat in conjunction with the copper and that PCM material on top. So as your body temperature changes, it's going to notice changes in your temperature and it's going to pull that heat away. It won't have the same active pulling nor the same temperature regulating range as 8 Sleep, but it's still going to work very well to keep you cool. Then we pop over here to Helix. The Helix Midnight Luxe is a great bed for hot sleepers because it has all of these. Aurora Luxe cooling, best on its own. But as we transition over here, do you sleep hot? Well, select the right cooling option for you, right? This helps eliminate heat buildup, especially for couples. So if you are a couple and one of you sleeps really hot, let's say you are a married man and your wife is going through menopause, every time you touch her, it's like a heater. Well, this is going to be a really good gift for the both of you. You get this tensile cover for free. You can also add the Glaciotex cooling cover and that Cool Force layer, which I would strongly recommend. If you're going to make the investment, why not do all of the options available to you to maximize your cooling and your comfortable sleep? This is a great design because, again, PCM, as I mentioned, very important. You have these cool to the touch options with the moisture wicking options, and together, these designs work to prevent those hot pockets, not the food, but the physical pockets of heat that tend to manifest around the hips, in the lower lumbar area, and around the shoulders and head. Those are two of the biggest heat pockets, and especially for heavier sleepers, that's where you're going to sink the most without the right level of firmness. And that is going to cause those heat blankets I talked about. We don't want those bubbles or blankets or what have you. Those detract from a good night's sleep. They increase things like your respiratory rate. They increase your blood flow because your body's trying to cool it down. So if you have something that is a passive system, but nonetheless moves that moisture away, it's going to be a good alternative. And over here, we have the Birch by Helix natural mattress. This is a good option for people who want those organic materials, and in particular for heavier sleepers. So if you want to maximize your airflow, you want to use organic materials in doing so, this is a good alternative to any of the more expensive options that you might see here, like 8 Sleep. It is a plain and simple mattress. It doesn't do any type of synthetic foam, and that's very important for me. So instead of synthetic materials that are more apt at holding heat, these have the natural wool, the organic layer, and that cotton, all of which work together to be more breathable. So that ensures that you have just better functionality in terms of the material. Not the phase change material, but all of the materials out of which your mattress is constructed. So a lot of moisture wicking properties. If you have an area that's very humid, the natural mattress from Birch is going to be a better option there as well. So a lot of heavy duty winners here when it comes to heat distribution, active cooling for hot sleepers, based on what you want. Birch is going to be good for those natural materials that are more effective. Helix Midnight Luxe is going to be good for all of those cooling amenities that you can add to a traditional mattress. Aurora Luxe Cooling for passive, great phase change materials, and 8 Sleep for the active system. Well, that's it for me. I hope these helped, and I hope you all have a great night's sleep.